What's going on, wrestling fans? It's your boy D-Hall back again for another edition of Near Falls in the WPIAL. Just your boy D-Hall right now, Kaz. Hopefully we'll be on soon. He's got some stuff he's dealing with. He'll be on shortly. So, big episode as everyone is getting ready or is driving or hanging out at the gym, whatever the case may be. So, thank you for clicking in with us and hanging out. Going to break down the AA and the AAA WPIAL individual championships. So excited to get into all that. It's going to be a great show. Going to give the championship picks and where I see some of the brackets play out. Kaz is going to do the same thing, and it's just going to be a great show again. So, two sites: Chartiers Valley High School. The other site, Cannon Mac High School. Not too far from each other, but those are the two sites. So if you are in the area, go check them out. Quickly, we'll pull up the schedule. I'll show this to you guys, so that way we have an idea of what we're looking at for the weekend. So right there, we have our schedule. Tonight, again, we start at 5 o'clock, right? So this is what we're running through. We got our pigtails preliminary. It's a pretty good one for me. Quarterfinals and first rounds of consolations are all running tonight. And then tomorrow, you just look down the list there. Second round of consolation, semifinals, third round, fourth round of consolation, seventh and eighth. The placing rounds, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and the championships are going to run around 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. So, of course, it should be a great weekend ahead. The committee and the WPIAL always does this weekend right. And, of course, the two sites are perfect, in my opinion, for the championships. Obviously, Cannon Mac speaks for itself with it being Powerade there, but I think Chartiers Valley is kind of sneaky. Just the way it's set up, the lowest part of the gym. Then they have the bleachers on the upper side. So I really enjoy the setup that Char Valley has. So I think it's perfect, perfect gyms for both. I'm excited to see it all play out. So without further ado, let's hit the music.
Welcome to the Near Falls WPIAL Show, where D-Hall and Kaz are gonna tell you all the things you wanna know. Whether it's Trinity or Spencer Lee or Mr. Kurt Angle, just ask Vinity, WPIAL at Cannon Mac for sure. They got the interviews to soothe your soul, because it's Near Falls in the WPIAL.
Sorry about that, guys. And that was always my main man, Kenny Sukic, bringing us in. Thank you for that, my friend. So again, tonight it begins 5 o'clock. Chartiers Valley on the one side and Cannon Mac on the other side for AAA and AA, respectively. I'm going to run down these brackets. I'm going to try to give Kaz as much time for him to hopefully jump in here and hang out with us. But again, we're going to run down both AA and AAA. What a great season it's been. Again, these championships kind of boiled down, and I've been getting a lot of questions. Maybe it's a good time to kind of talk about the new qualification process. AA is getting 8 this year. AAA is getting 7. AAA is a lot different. So they get 7, and then they move on from there to the West Regional. From there, they get put in with a massive pool of teams. If you look on like the PA Power Rankings or Inside PA, our friend Matt Taylor does a great job. If you look at both of their rankings, just the depth that the West has, it's pretty deep. And you got Central Mountain, you got teams like Du Bois, Altoona, State College, Mifflin County. I mean, there's a lot of great teams. And they get five get to advance onto Hershey. So that's the new qualification process. That's going to be at Altoona next week for AAA. So, it's definitely a little bit different. You can complain and, gripe about it. Like the one night, whatever, the episode that was 2 hours and 45 minutes or something. Kaz, Matt, and I just sat here and just ripped the PIAA to shreds. Now, does that necessarily do anything? Probably not. But, it's just the way they have it structured, the numbers, the Northwest regional pretty much dissolving. All those things were, in play. And that's kind of why it all, formed the way it did. Unfortunately, they use, graduation numbers more. No, the 100% they'd use more graduation numbers than competition results and past results, which is unfortunate for, areas like ourselves, the WPIAL. And of course, the big topic of discussion with the team this year was District 11. They had, I don't know, if you look at any set of rankings, there was, I don't know, 7 teams ranked in the top 10 from District 11, and they only got 2 teams in the state tournament, when other teams got, 3 teams in the state tournament. It's just, like we said, it's malpractice and it's unfortunate. But I kind of wanted to, I think that's a good way to lead off the show and talk about, the new qualification process. So of course, AA, they go to the Southwest Regional after this. And they qualify 8 from here. But yeah, so Kaz will be happy. I mean, did it old school, paper, both ways, both for AA and AAA. So printer got to work out. I'm not used to printing that much stuff, but I honestly think it helps just to kind of figure out what you're looking at, break it all down. See what we got here. See if I can share some of these screens for you guys. Again, Chartiers Valley, Cannon-Mac High School. Go check them out. These kids, they work hard. So they work hard all year. I mean, I think that, obviously there's usually a pretty good turnout for this, but this is the pinnacle, man. Like, it's so incredible to watch these kids go, and we're going to talk about it. These brackets are deep, man. Some of these brackets, are just 15, 16, 18 guys deep. I talked to Kaz on yesterday. I spoke with him and I said, man, I had more of a struggle on the backside than the front side. And I did the full backside for the AAA. I'm like halfway through with AA. I didn't get all the way through. I just printed them out this morning with the kids running around and such. But it's incredible, the depth that the WPIAL has. Obviously, we have our stars, we have our high-end guys. We're going to talk about all those guys, but the depth and the coin flip matches that you have to figure out or pick is it's definitely interesting. So before we run into everything, let's give a little ode to our sponsors, the guys that help make this season possible, because they are a big part of this. Mike Smith over at Smitty's Corner Rugs, smittyscornerrugs.com. Check him out. If you don't have a set of Smitty's Corner Rugs, what are you doing? Get yourself a pair at smittyscornerrugs.com. Get you an investment to protect your investment while looking good at the same time. Again, smittyscornerrugs.com. Division I Wrestling Club down in 51, Pennsylvania, down in Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania. That is Mr. James Fleming. Man, you look down the list of kids that are starting to come out of that club, not only at high school, but talking to Jeff Shaw and realizing some of the kids that are coming out of the junior high scene out of that club is pretty impressive. So if you have a chance, if you're in the area, or, you know, I know a lot of kids, a lot of people drive a long ways to get to clubs and to seek out practice partners. So check out James Slimming down at Division I Wrestling Club, Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania. He will get you right at d1wrestling.com. Jim Akerley at Quest School of Wrestling. Thank you so much for your love and support. Again, if you haven't already, go back and check out my long form episode with Jim. One of my favorite episodes of all time. It was like before we did video, before I was in front of you guys, and straight up just sat on his mats and talked about his story. It was really, really cool. So Jim Akerley, thank you so much. And of course, Quest Wrestling speaks for itself. The kids that they've had out of there, the high level, it's so impressive, and it just doesn't stop. The next kid after the next kid after the next group after the next group. You go on into his gym there, and his wall is just loaded with hats and of kids that have worked out and wrestled in his room. So it's really impressive. Again, that's questwrestling.com. Go check it out. And last but not least, my main man, Chris Cars over at Switch Custom Apparel. Been with you for years. I got a bunch of t-shirts to hand out for you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys. I'll be over at AAA. So I hand a bunch of t-shirts out to you guys. And that's all thanks to my man, Chris Cars over at Switch Custom Apparel. Thank you for all your love and support over the years, my friend. All right, guys. Well, Kaz is figuring his stuff out. I'm not going to keep you waiting any longer. I'm going to run into it. I'm going to start off with double A. We're going to go a little to heavy, and then we're going to go over to triple A. I'm going to do my picks. I'm going to run into like what I got for the semis, who I think's got runs on the backside for double A, and for triple A, I'm going to give you my top 7. So again, I'm going to run my champs, who I got in the semis for double A, and some of the backside guys that I think have a good chance to make a run. And then for the triple A, I got it pretty much throughout. So starting off at 107 pounds, let's share the screen so you guys aren't just staring at my ugly mug the whole time. Double A. All right, guys. Let's see. So, again, like Kaz and I've talked about, Mr. Chambers is and has been one of the best guys, not only in double A, but triple A, just in the WPIAL in general at 107 pounds. And I see no difference here. I think that he takes care of business and moves himself into the semifinals. So for the let's go to the quarter. So I got, for the quarterfinals, I got Chambers versus Wolslowski. I got Pierre versus Bonnie. I got DeCario versus Hanning, and I got Guzek versus Simmons. Chambers, I got moving on to the semis. Bonnie, I got moving on to the semis. DeCario got moving on to the semis, and Simmons, I got moving on to the semis. So I got DeCario coming back and taking third over Bonnie. I got Guzek coming, making a little run on the backside, as well as Piero. I think Mr. Stroop, Grayson Stroop of Beaver County Christian, I think that he has a chance to make a nice run on the backside. The 10th grader, 19-12 record there for Beaver County Christian. But again, I got Chambers, my champ, Simmons a second, and DeCario and Bonnie third and fourth, with some guys making some run on the backside. All right, 114 pounds. And again, I got to give some love to my main man, Alex Moses over at Burl. He told me about this match first week of the year, and I've been on, of course, I've been on Andercheck for a couple years now, but definitely been introduced to Boo Bash. I watched him last year at I believe the junior high championships of District 7 that I just talked to Jeff Shaw about. If you haven't already, go back, check that out with my main man, Jeff. But again, so for me, this weight class kind of boils down to those two guys. But for the quarterfinals, I got Anderchek, I got Thomas. So I got Thomas beating Bruce. I got Wagner. I got Ely. I got Allen, Medlin, Poland, and Bubash is my quarterfinals. So the guys that are winning into the semis, I got Anderchek over Thomas. I got Wagner over Ely. I got Allen over Medlin, and I got Bubash over Poland. Semifinals, I got Anderchek and Bubash both winning, kind of what I just built up there at the beginning of this weight. And I got Anderchek getting it done. The 11th grader from Quaker Valley. Just been watching him for too many years, win too many matches. I just think he's going to get it done. Now, Bubash is certainly a problem. He's going to be an issue. I could certainly see him giving Anderchek a run today, or not only tomorrow, but next week and the week after as we run down the road here towards Hershey. So, again, these two, I think, are kind of the class of the way here. But on the backside, I think Wagner and Ely are going to go for third and fourth. I have Ely coming back after taking a loss to Wagner. So I see them coming back for third and fourth. And I think Medlin has a chance to come back as well. So we'll see it all plays out. But I think this is a pretty good weight class headlined by the two studs at the 1 and the 2 seed. All right. Speaking of studs at 1 and 2, to me, this is another weight class. Austin Kazanovic of Avonworth, Carter Thomas of Burrow. Carter Thomas has been fantastic this year. Kazanovic has been fantastic this year. So I think this is kind of a similar situation here. There's other fantastic guys in this weight class. Collins, Bateman, Maine. So let's just run right into it. I got Kazanovic, I got Stivers, I got Maine, I got Bateman, I got Collins, I got Patton, I got Buzzard, and I got Thomas. That's my quarterfinalists. I got Kazanovic over Stivers, I got Bateman over Maine, I got Patton over Collins, and I got Thomas over Buzzard to make the semifinals. The one that I'm sure everyone's looking at, the Patton over Collins. That's a little bit of an upset there. I like the kid out of the Washington there, the freshman. I just think that, he gets it done, sneaks into the semifinals. And Bateman gets in on the top side there for Derry. Kazanovic and Thomas make the finals, like I said off the top there. And this is a match that I looked at back and forth, and I think this is going to be a good one, man. I think this is kind of like a highlight match in the finals, but ultimately I went Kazanovic over Thomas. Now, if when I checked the results, or if someone texted me that, Thomas beat Kazanovic in the finals tomorrow, would I be surprised? Absolutely not. So on the backside, I think that Collins has a chance to make a nice run. I have him taking third. I got Maine taking fourth. And I got Bateman getting into the next round with that win over Collins. So again, we're going to talk about this a lot as I run down these brackets and these weights here. These guys, a lot of these kids, I mean, at least how I have it played out, and obviously, who the hell knows? You guys are just watching just for enjoyment, and probably because you're bored and there's nothing else going on. But I think a lot of times here in these brackets, these guys are going to match up maybe 2 times in these brackets. And obviously they've wrestled last week. They're going to wrestle next week and the week after, maybe, if they keep on moving forward. But yeah, I could see a lot of repeat matches here the next couple of weeks. All right. 127. One of my favorite dudes in Double A, and it's no secret to anyone, Antonio Boni of Central Valley. He is the 1 seed. Giovanni Beatrice is your 2 seed. We'll run down into the the championships and everything here, but I think this is it's a deeper weight class than some of the last two, I would say. I got Bonnie and Ely. I got Goosek over Dulaney of Jeff Morgan. I got Fox. I got Smith. I got Rosa. I got Zugai. And I got Beatrice. For the semis, I got Bonnie over Ely. I got Fox over Guzek. I got I got Smith over Rosa, and I got Beatrice over Zugai. So for the semifinals, I got Bonnie, Fox, Smith, and Beatrice. I got Rosa coming back pretty good on the backside. He's going to take third. And I got Fox taking fourth. Bonnie and Beatrice make the finals. I got Bonnie winning it. But I think Beatrice is definitely, the senior out of Derry. He's going to give Bonnie a run. Ultimately, I've seen Bonnie win too many big matches against a bunch of different level of guys, the AAA guys and the AA guys. And, I've just seen him shred dudes before. And I think that he looks fantastic this year. And I don't think it stops this weekend. Another one of my favorite guys, a couple of these guys. I like this weight. Anthony Mucci of Derry is your 1 seed, newly committed to UPJ. I firmly believe that is a huge get for Coach Reinhardt over there at UPJ. So I got him he's the 1 seed. Drake McClure is the 2 seed. Wolf is the 3 seed. Wright is the 4 seed. So this weight here, I got Mucci, Betts, Stewart, Wright, Wolf, McDonald, Sipes, and McClure are my quarterfinalists. Moving on out of the quarterfinals into the semis, I got Mucci over Betts. I got Stewart over Wright in an upset there, and a little bit, 5-4. And then I got Wolf over McDonald and McClure over Sipes. Into the finals, I got McClure over Wolf and Mucci over Stewart. I really like these two guys. I think this match is another match that's going to be fantastic. Mucci, kind of one of the breakout stars of the WPIAL this year, placing at Powerade, doing really well at counties. Just fantastic year for Derry and Coach Troy Dolan over there. So I got Mucci getting the dub here, and this is another one that I went back and forth on. I mean, Drake McClure, the sophomore out of Bentworth, he was one of my first WOW T-shirt winners. He's a fantastic wrestler, long hammer on top, which you guys know. Anyone that has listened to me for a long time knows that I love guys that are really nice on top because that travels well. But again, I got Mucci over McClure. I got Wolf taking third over Stewart, and I got Mason Wright coming back. He's going to take fifth. So a pretty interesting weight class here. Again, headlined by the two hammers there, and Mucci and McClure. All right. 139. This is a really solid weight class. This is one of the weight classes I highlighted when I was doing these brackets. Lucas Barr's the 1 seed. Matt Dana's the 2 seed. Bertucci's the 3 seed out of Burrell. Aiden Buford from Highlands is the 4 seed. Brett Klim from Derry is the 5 seed. Man, you look down this weight, just those 5 guys alone, and even Emilio from North Catholic is solid. Let's just run down into the quarters. I got Barr, I got Gilbert, I got Clem, I got Burford, I got Bertucci, Emilio, Woods, and Dana. Moving on to the semis, I got Barr over Gilbert, Burford over Clem, and this is one I have starred. I think that Burford, Clem, 5-6 match is like a must-watch quarterfinal if you're at Char Valley, and that ends up happening. I think that that's one that you guys need to tune into. I got Bertucci over Emilio, and I got Matt Dana over Javon Woods of Washington. For the semis, I got Barr over Buford. I got Dana over Bertucci. I was so close to take. I love all four of these guys. I think all four of these guys go on and take top four. I got Burford over Bertucci, though, for third and fourth. I got Clem taking fifth. I think they're the clear top five. Emilio's taking sixth. So it's kind of, I think they did a fantastic job seeing these guys. But that top four, I really had a hard time. And I really like Burford. I like Bertucci. I've watched both these guys all year. But ultimately, for me, Lucas Barr is the leader and one of the stalwarts of that program over at McGuffey. I love watching him go. He has a motor like no other. He can go the entire 6 minutes. You better be ready to go, or you're going to get fried. He's a goer. I love watching him compete and work through different positions. He's going to find a way to score as many points as possible. So ultimately, in the finals, I got Barr over Dana. And Dana is another guy that, I've been on all year. I like him a lot. He can score from a multitude of different ways. He has a nice quick step to get to his shots. His footwork is really, really solid. But I got Barr over Dana. And again, this is it's a good weight. All right. 145. Lucas Boyer is your 1 seed. Owen Lehue is your 2 seed. Victor Bonus is your 3 seed. Caleb Patton is your 4 seed. So let's run down the quarterfinals. I got Boyer. I got Go. I got Reynolds. I got Patton. I got Bonus. I got Perkins. I got Crawford. And I got Lehue. So for me, this weight class is a little interesting. Lehue out of knock, the 2 seed here. I think that he runs himself through Crawford, gets him into the semifinals. Bonus and Perkins is an interesting quarterfinal. And that's another one that I got starred here on my sheet. And I think that that's one that you guys should check out. Ultimately, I think that I got Bonus in that weight. And it'll be close. That one was a close one for me. I got Patton over Reynolds, and I got Boyer over Go. Going into the finals, I got Boyer over Patton and Lehue over Bonus. And for the final, I got Boyer over Lehue. Sorry for you guys. I just realized that I'm not switching along with the brackets. Just kind of got in a flow there, but I will switch it to 152, which is what we are on. You guys can kind of get a better visual there. Again, 152, you look at this weight class here. You got Mason Horwat of Derry, who has been fantastic this year. The only, 2 of his 3 losses were at Powerade. One of the dominant guys for the Derry Trojans. Jonah Early, no different for the Fraser Commodores there, and Coach Tyler Kenny. But there's other guys in this week. Gavin McCrae, of course, from Freedom, the senior, 38-4 on the year. I know that Coach Zeke Stroop and Ty Alberts are super excited about him. Calio Zanella, Braxton Carr. So let's just get right into it. I got Horwat, Noyes, Zanella, Carr, McCrae, Dimert, Newman, and Early as your quarterfinalists. I got Horwat over Noyes. I got Zanella over Carr. I got McCrae over Dimer, and I got Early over Newman as your semi-finalist. For your finals there, I got Horwat over Zanella. I got Early over McCrae. And the Early McCrae match was the reason I had it scratched and erased. I went back and forth on that. I love me some Freedom Boys and Zeke Stroop and Ty Alberts. But ultimately, I went with Jonah Early in a really, really close win. So, yeah, I mean, and then in the finals, I got Horwat over Erdley. I got McRae coming back to take third over Zanella. So I got the top four coming back and taking third and fourth. I got Braxton Carr taking fifth and Jack Dimert from Cricket Valley taking sixth there at 152 pounds. And, one of the a great weight there for double A. And speaking of great weights, these two weights here, these two or three weights, I would say. But this one here in particular, man, Kaz and I talked about it. Fantastic weight for the double A. Gabe Lilly is your 1 seed. Owen Ivich is your 2 seed. Evan Olson is your 3 seed. Alec Palco is your 4 seed. Ryan Shalassi is your 5 seed. Cheney Lewis is your 6 seed. This weight class is fantastic. And it goes all the way down. I mean, you got Ben Catula from Burroughs in this weight class. I like Chaz Russ from Avella. So let's just run into the quarterfinals. I got Lilly, Rush, Shalassi, Palco, Olson, Lewis, Catullo, and Ivsic. Going into the semifinals, I got Lilly, I got Palco, I got Lewis, and I got Ivsic. Now, one of the ones I got starred, both the 5'4" and the 3'6" in this weight. The Shalashi Palco and the Olson Lewis matchups are going to be fantastic. Both freshmen, I took them both. I don't know why. Just why not? So I got both of them winning. And but here's the thing, I got both of them losing on the backside. So we'll see how it all plays out. I could be completely wrong, but this is a weight class that everyone needs to kind of lock in on. There's so many really, really good guys here. And it goes all the way down. Like I said, Catullo, you got Lewis, Olson. I mean, this weight class is fantastic. So moving on from the semifinals, I got Lilly over Palco, and I got Ivsic over Lilly in a match that we've seen a few times this year. I got Lilly. In the finals over Ivsic, and these two, it's going to be a dogfight. And Ivsic's one of the toughest dudes in the double A, and I love the way he wrestles. I just think Lilly's kind of been on a tear this year and just really finding his form, the clarion commit. Give me Gabe Lilly getting it done at 160 pounds. All right, 172. All right, this is another one I struggled with at the end here. Jackson Angelo is your 1 seed. Isaac Lisinski is your 2 seed. Marcus Ritchie is your 3 seed. Landon Dallaire is your 4 seed. Noah Lehue is your 5 seed. Reed Teagarden is your 6 seed. I got Angelo, Straight, Lehue, Dallaire, Ritchie, Teagarden, Miller, and Lisinski is your quarterfinalists. Going into the semis, I got Angelo, Dallaire, Ritchie, and Lisinski. The Ritchie Teagarden match and the Lehue Dallaire match are both fantastic matches. I think, all those, like, and I'm saying a lot, but it needs to be talked about. Like the 5-6 or the 4-5 and the 6-3 matches are usually fantastic. So, if you get a chance, check those out. Going into the semifinals, like I said, I got Angelo, Dallaire, Ritchie, Lisinski. Going into the finals, I got Angelo and I got Lisinski. Angelo over Dallaire, Lisinski over Ritchie. I got Lisinski getting it done over Angelo, the 2 seed over the 1 seed, the Burrow boy, getting it done. Now, backside, there's guys. You know what I mean? Like this weight class, I think Ritchie can make a run on the backside. I think Teagarden's going to make a run on the backside. Lehue's going to make a run on the backside. I just think that this is one that you're going to want to watch the backside just as much as the front side. Obviously you have the star power in Lisinski and Angelo. But again, fantastic weight here. All right. This one here, kind of Brady Brown. Next topic. It's not kind of. It is. Brady Brown's been fantastic. One of my favorite dudes to watch. You guys know I love big boys wrestling, and Brady Brown, just the sophomore. I mean, I was introduced to him at, where was it at? Must have been maybe Southmoreland last year, I want to say. Forget who he wrestled, but his final match, I think he was in the final. It was fantastic. And ever since then, I've been a fan of Brady Brown, and I've heard and talked to coaches. He's a stud at freestyle and those things as well. So, just to spoil, the lead here, I got Brady Brown winning it. But we'll run right into the quarters here. Brown, Suppler, Markovich, Peak, Williams, Shank, Maines, and Mundorf. I'm sorry. For the semifinals, I got Mundorf, Williams, Markovich, and Brown. For the finals, I got Brown over Markovich. I got Williams over Mundorf on the bottom side, and I got Brown over Williams in the finals. Zayshawn Williams is another guy for Freedom. I think that, I think he has a chance to make a run here and put himself in the finals. He's been fantastic for Coach Stroop there. But there's other guys here like Markovich from South Park. I think he's had a great year, just 26-5 on the year. Great couple of guys here, but again, it's highlighted for me by Mr. Brady Brown. All right, let's move on. 215 pounds. All right. This weight's sneaky. And we've talked to this. Me and Kaz have talked about this. I think it is sneaky now. I think the winner's kind of clear, but the depth in this weight is fantastic. Braden Welsh is your 1 seed. Colton Carlson of Laurel is your 2 seed. Brennan Briesinger, just your freshman, 215, is your 3 seed. Luke Boylan is your 4 seed. Caden Shannon is your 5 seed. And Braden Suter is your 6 seed. So, again, I got Welsh winning it. He's the clear favorite here. He's one of the best guys in the state, one of the best guys in the country. So I got Welsh winning it. But for the quarterfinals, I got Welsh, Beck, Shannon, Boylan, Briesinger, Suter, Williams, and Carlson. I got Welsh over Beck. I got Boylan over Shannon. I got Suter over Briesinger in a star match. I have this one starred. This is a match that quarterfinal, everyone needs to watch. Senior versus freshman. You just kind of love that matchup. And Briesinger, one of the best young big guys we've seen in quite some time on the AA scene, in a weight that's filled with juniors and senior. He's one of the lone underclassmen. And I got Carlson over Williams in the last quarterfinal. So for the semis, I got Welsh over Boylan. I got Suter over Carlson. I got Suter making a run here. And, the senior out of Carlington, again, he's got that different dynamic. We've talked about it a few times that I'm a sucker for guys that are good on top. They can slow the match down, and they can score points in bunches now with the 3-point near fall and the 4-point near fall. Just give me Suter to make the finals, man. I think he's going to get it done. Now, I think his magical run stops against Welsh, but I think that he has a good chance. Now, Briesinger, I think, comes back and takes third over. He defeats Boylan in the process. Now, those two met in the WPIAL team finals, I believe, and it was a tight match. And I think that's a coin flip match. So that's one that we got to watch out for. Lucy and Williams from Southside, I think, can make a little run on the backside. Yeah, man, I like Welsh to kind of dominate here, but other than that, give me Mr. Suter to have a day or a weekend rather. All right, another sneaky weight. Colin White of West Green is your 1 seed. Henry Barbish of Carlington is your 2 seed. Casey Wilson is your 3 seed of Laurel. David Sager of Southmoreland is your 4 seed. Parker Cunningham of South Park is your 5 seed. Alex Rusalisco is your 6 seed out of Bentworth. White Powerade place winner, a guy that has really elevated this year compared to years past. He's a big kid. Bruiser beat Ben Lloyd in the 7th and 8th place match, I believe, at Powerade. Barbish is another kid that, I saw him in Allegheny Counties. He was fantastic there. Wilson Cunningham is one of the biggest dudes. Kaz, told me he's a fantastic football player. So this weight's pretty deep, man. So let's run in here. Let's go. So I got White, Kuhn, Cunningham, Sager, Wilson, Rislisco, Corda of York, and Barbish of Carlington. Winning into the semifinals, I got White, Cunningham, Wilson, and Barbish. Now, the White Cunningham match, I really went back and forth on this one. I really did. I think Cunningham is a problem, man. I think that ultimately I took White. I think that, going to Powerade and the schedule that, Tricat is, the things of the nature that he's wrestled, I think that I just think that he's going to get it done. But if someone, if I check the result and Cunningham won, would I be surprised? No. But Cunningham's got to get out there. He's got to beat Sager from Southmoreland, which I know Kaz loves him from Sager. Loves him some Sager from Southmoreland. Yeah, man, this is a great weight. Rusa Lisco from Bentworth, and I know I always say that wrong, and I'm sorry. Is a stud. I think that he comes back and takes 4th. But I have Cunningham taking 3rd, and this weight is just, it's deep, man. And I love me some big boy wrestling, and there's a lot of coin flip matches in here, which makes for, must watch wrestling. It's not necessarily, all right, well, this kid or this guy is, got on paper 80-90% chance to win. A lot of these are, 40-60% matches. So that makes it for a lot of fun. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to break here, run upstairs, check on my kids. We'll be back down to do some AAA. All right. I just realized that I did not share the last weight there at 285. So take a quick peek at that. Again, we talked about how deep that weight is before we move on to AAA. So let's do this for now. Again, before we move on to the AAA, let's give some love to the sponsors. Mike Smith over at Smitty's Corner Rugs, smittyscornerrugs.com. If you don't have a set of Smitty's Corner Rugs, what are you doing? Get you an investment to protect your investment at smittyscornerrugs.com. Thank you so much for all the love and support, Mr. Mike Smith. Division 1 Wrestling Club at d1wrestling.com. Mr. James Fleming, thank you for the support, my friend. Again, we've talked about it already once this show, but man, some of the guys and kids that are coming out of that club are super, super impressive. The junior high guys, as well as the high school guys. So again, that is Mr. James Fleming, affectionately known as Snapper, at d1wrestling.com. Mr. Jim Akerley at Quest School of Wrestling, questwrestling.com. Thank you so much for the love and support. Again, one of my favorite shows of all time. Go check him out. Go check that episode out. It was fantastic. Sat right down on his mats. For him to be a sponsor of the show is really, really an honor. So thank you so much, Mr. Akerley at questwrestling.com. And of course, last but not least, my main man, Chris Cars over at Switch Custom Apparel. Made this beautiful hat that I'm wearing for my golf league, amongst other things. But if you're in the Bridgeville area, Chartiers Valley, right across the street, honestly, he's right there, the shopping center, right across the street from the shopping center there in Bridgeville is his shop. So, if you're in any need of embroidery or, some screen work done for some apparel, check him out. He is the best in the biz. All right. It's time. Let's run into it. I mean, there's no other way to do it. We're going to share the AAA screen. All right. So this starting off with a banger. I mean, honestly, like this way here is it was tough to figure out really quick, or instantly. I figured out when I was doing the brackets that it's a problem. There's guys littered in this weight that are grenades. All right, let's just get into it. All right, I got McGarity winning his first match over the winner of the pigtail. I got Newell from Kiski is my winner of the pigtail there, the freshman. Jones Hoy is one of the best first round matches in the WPIAL. I think it's fantastic. We're going to talk a little bit about Jones here in a minute. But I got Jones winning that. I got Thomas over Simon. I got Fennec over Hills. I got Rehack over Smith. And Smith is one of the, he was a high ranked guy coming into this year. The sophomore out of Seneca Valley. Jesus, still a little undersized, I think, but man, he's still really solid. But I think Rehack gets it done there. I got Ferrara over Guglielmo of Bell Vernon. Ferrara, one of the surprises of the sectional round. I got Gretz over Savannah, and I got Johnson over Butera. Now, this is where it kind of gets interesting, these quarterfinals. Man, I got McGarity over Jones, and that was a tough one right off the bat to try to figure out what I wanted to do there. I went back and forth because I like Jones. He's long, he's tough, and I think he poses a good threat. But McGarity, just coming down from 107, I think he's too big, too tough on top. I think he gets it done over Jones. The next one down, I got Fennick over Thomas. I got Rehek over Ferrero, and then I got Gretz over Johnson in that quarterfinal. Now you look at this, these quarterfinals, the Gretz over Johnson match. Gretz was kind of like the number 2 guy all year. Johnson takes second to McGarity. McGarity, it was a close match. Johnson was up halfway through the match. I think Gretz just a little bit too much, the sophomore for the freshman from my West State Indians there. And Johnson got Rehek over Ferrero. And for that match, I went back and forth. But Rehak's kind of on one right now with the pin over Fennick. He's just rolling, man. I think that, I think he gets it done in the quarterfinal there. So moving on down on the bottom side, you look at before we get into the semifinals. So just kind of, I got Hoy, the blood round, so to speak, before we go to 7th and 8th. I got Hoy, Johnson, Sinan, Ferraro, Smith, Thomas, Savannah, and Jones. So winning those blood round matches before we get to 7th and 8th, I got Johnson beating Hoy. I got Ferraro beating Sinan. I got Thomas beating Smith, and I got Jones beating Savannah. From there, I got Johnson beating Ferraro. I got Jones beating Thomas. And then from there, I got Fennick dropping down after losing to Mr. Nick McGarity in a tight match in the semifinals. That one's it's close, man. This is going to be close all the way down. So I got McGarity over Fennick, and then I got Rehak over Gretz. So Gretz drops down against Jones. So Gretz, Fennick in a match that we've seen a bunch. This time, I think Gretz gets it done, takes third. So that gives me McGarity first, Rehak second, Gretz third, Fennick fourth, Jones fifth, Johnson sixth. I got Jones over Johnson and Ferraro over Thomas for 7th and 8th to get to the last place. Man, that way, I already got to take a deep breath. It's a tough one. And there's other guys in here. Like if I miss like Savannah, I like Savannah a lot. Like Hoy, I could see Hoy making a run. There's guys in that weight. All right. 114. Kapusta coming out of nowhere, the 1 seed over Barrett, the 2 seed getting the job done. This, like we talked about, Kaz and I earlier this week. Just the seeds. So, all right, let's go. I got Kapusta, LaQuarcha, Franks, Circo, Klippa, Colangelo, Rohali, and Barrett winning all their first round matches. That's my quarterfinalists. Winning into the quarterfinals, into the semis. Winning the quarterfinals into the semis, I got Kapusta, Franks, Klippa, and Barrett. So let's move this for you guys. I'm sorry, I got excited. There we go. So I got Kapusta, LaQuarcha, Franks, Circo, Klippa, Colangelo, Rahali, and Barrett as my quarterfinalists. Moving on and weighing into the semis, I got Kapusta, Franks, Klippa, and Barrett. So I got Kapusta over LaQuarcha, Franks over Circo, Klippa over Colangelo, Barrett over Rahali. And the Frank Circo is really, really good. The Klippa Colangelo is really, really good. I like LaQuarcha from North Allegheny, the senior at 114. Moving on to the bottom side. So, again, the LaQuarcha Carson, kind of interesting for me because you go to the bottom side. I got Carson making a run. So, let's just move on to, like I said, we're going to move on to the blood round matches. So, I got Carson, Rahali, Phipps, Colangelo, Murphy, Circo, Jennings, LaQuarcha. So I got winning those matches. I got Carson over Rahali. I got Colangelo over Phipps. I got Circo over Murphy. And I got LaQuarta over Jennings. From there, I got Colangelo over Carson. I got Circo over LaQuarta. We go to the top side. I got Capusta over Franks in the semis in a match that I think is going to be very close. As well as the bottom side, I got Barrett over Klippa. Klippa, the freshman from Norwin, 25-10. But don't let that record fool you. He is a stud. I love all the dudes out of the East sectional here. They were just loaded up. One of the reasons why I made the trip and I walked in right as those dudes were about to scrap, and all of them were fantastic. So again, I got going into the finals, I got Capusta and Barrett, and in the finals, I got Barrett over Capusta. Reason being, I'm completely fine if Capusta proves me wrong. He already proved me wrong once. I hope he proves me wrong again. But wrestling all those matches, and then ripping it up against Barrett in the finals, you could argue it's pretty much the same tournament as last week. I just think Barrett gets it done this week. So we'll see what happens. So I got Barrett over Capusta. I got Circo over Franks for 3rd and 4th. I got Klippa over Colangelo for 5th and 6th. And I got Carson over LaQuarta for 7th and 8th. And a seed that I just planted, LaQuarta beat Carson in the first round match. They end up wrestling for 7th and 8th, and Carson gets him for 7th and 8th. All right. 121. Leo Joseph's your 1 seed. Nolan Rice is your 2 seed. Thomas Bencho is your 3 seed. Giona Gardner is your 4 seed. Evan Schomburg is your 5 seed. Pierce Reinhardt is your 6 seed. All right, let's run into the semis. So I got Joseph, Emma, Dennison, Gardner, Bencho, Reinhardt, Carsuchlio, and Rice. So from the quarters into the semis, I got Joseph over Emma. I got Gardner over Dennison. I got Bencho over Reinhardt. I got Rice over Carsuchlio. Going to the bottom side. In the blood round before 7th and 8th, I got Carsuchlio before that, I got Haley, Carsuchlio, Schomburg, Reinhardt, Gulabon, Dennison, Warson, and Emma. From there, I got Carsuchlio over Haley. I got Reinhardt over Schomburg. I got Dennison over Gulabon, and I got Warson over Emma. I got Reinhardt over Carsuchlio in the next round. I got Dennison over Warson in that next round on the bottom side. Moving up to the top side of the bracket. Switch over. Moving up to the top side of the bracket, I got Joseph over Gardner on the top side. And then the bottom side, I got Rice over Bencho. In a match that I went back and forth with, Bencho proved me wrong last week, and I just think that Rice is a little bit too much, but we're going to talk about Mr. Bencho here in a second. So moving on to the finals, Joseph Rice, match we saw last week, I got Joseph winning it. Moving down to the bottom side, I got Bencho coming back, taking 3rd. And he has a good run through. He comes back and beats Dennison and then Reinhardt. Reinhardt has a beautiful run through and loses to Bencho for 3rd and 4th. I think Bencho beats him twice in this tournament. Again, Reinhardt beats Gardner there in the consolation semis at 121. So running it down, I got Joseph 1st, Rice 2nd, Bencho 3rd, Reinhardt 4th, Gardner 5th, over Dennison 6th, Carsuchlio 7th, and Warson 8th. 127. Santino Sloboda. Dom Canale, Mikey Ruane, Carter Putt, Evan Tolliver, and Evan Sala. This is a great weight. First round match that I have starred here in my research, Colton Fisher, Landon Funk. I think that one's going to be really good. Evan Tolliver. And Aiden Talava of Shaler. I think that one's going to be really good. So let's run into the quarterfinals. I got Sloboda, I got Smith, I got Tolliver, I got Putt, Ruane, Sala, Funk, and Canali. From there, I got Sloboda, Putt, Ruane, and Canali. Yeah, that's my semifinalist. Going down to the bottom side and in the blood round, I got DeLuca, Funk, Huff, Sala, LeBrier, Tolliver, Fisher, and Smith. So winning in the blood round there, I got Funk over DeLuca, I got Sala over Huff, I got Tolliver over Breyer, and I got Fisher over Smith. Fisher, nice backside run after losing to Funk in the first round match. So Fisher goes and loses to Tolliver in the next match. Tolliver goes up against. Okay, so we'll stop there. So on the top side, Sala and Funk. I got Sala winning that one. So going into the top side of the bracket, Sloboda, Putt, Ruane, Canali. I got seeds holding Sloboda and Canali into the finals. I got Sloboda winning it over Canali. I got Sala taking third, Ruane taking fourth, Putt taking fifth, Tolliver taking sixth, I got Fisher taking seventh, and Funk taking eighth. Again, kind of what we talked about at 107. The first round match is going to be for seventh and eighth. Again, I think it's going to play out that way. All right, 133. And one of the, more anticipated matches, I would say, Luke Willishow, Nico Finella, Collier Hartman, Chase Smith, Cale Yannick, AJ Snatchko. Your top 6 seeds here, all fantastic. There's also a bunch of guys that littered throughout here. All right, let's run into the quarters. Luke Willishow, Jake Lilly, Yannick, Smith, Hartman, Snatchko, Stediford, and Finella are my quarterfinalists. Going into the semis, I got Willishow over Lilly. I got Smith over Yannick. I got Hartman over Snatchko. And I got Finella over Stediford. Those are my semifinals. So my set of finalists are Willishow, Smith, Hartman, and Finella. Now, going down on the bottom side, I got Levenis, Stediford, Miller, Snatchko, Cable, Yannick, Butera, and Lilly. So from there, this is where it gets tough, man. This is like the backsides of these freaking brackets were making me pull up my hair out last night. All right, so I got Stediford over Levenis, I got Snatchko over Miller, I got Yannick over Cable, and I got Lilly over Butera. From there, I got Snatchko over Stediford, and I got Yannick over Lilly. And you go to the top side. I got Willishow over Smith, Finella over Hartman. Kind of not a surprise to most. These two have been on a collision course. A lot of people think this is one of the best, if not the best, matchup in the finals. So from there, I got Willishow winning it over Finella. Now, if you told me Finella wins, I'm not going to be surprised. I think both these guys are fantastic. Both these dudes are so good. They both can scrap. Finella took fourth at Powerade, and he lost to Dom Deputy in like a tight match. It was just like a one-move cradle match. Bottom side, I got Hartman over Smith for third and fourth, so I think the semis hold coming back down. Now, we talked about the backside of this bracket. I had Snatchko and Yannick both making a run. I have Snatchko and Yannick wrestling for fifth and sixth in a match that we've seen 100 times, I feel like. I got Snatchko winning it this time, getting it over Yannick for fifth and sixth, and I got Gabe Lilly over Stediford for seventh and eighth to qualify. All right, 139. All right, this is another one that I sweat. Don Ferrero, your 1 seed. Kai Vioma, your 2 seed. TJ Allison, your 3 seed. Dayton Soto, your 4 seed. Talon Mazenko, your 5 seed. Zach Hill, your 6 seed. All right. Let's go into the quarters here. I got Ferraro, Stout, Mazenko, Soto, Allison, Hill, Sarnik, and Vioma. From there, I got Ferraro over Stout. I got Soto over Mazenko. I got Allison over Hill, and I got Vioma over Sarnik. And I think that, you look at these, I think Soto Mazenko is a fantastic matchup. I think that Allison and Hill is a fantastic matchup. But ultimately, the seniors just a little bit too much there. Again, the Mazenko is a senior, but I like Soto. So moving down on to the bottom side in the blood rounds, I got Klingon, Smith, Sarnik, Slovic, Hill, Chacon, Mazenko, Kerr, and Stout. This one, I got Sarnik, I got Hill, I got Mazenko, and I got Stout. All winning and moving on. From there, I got Sarnik over Slovic, Sarnik over Hill, and I got Mazenko over Stout. And then you go to the top side of this bracket, I got Ferraro over Soto, and I got Vioma over Allison. For the semis there, you drop down. So it's Sarnik, Soto, Mazenko, and Allison. I got Allison moving on over Mazenko. I got Soto over Sarnik. I got Allison beating Soto for third and fourth. Soto taking fourth. And the top side, this is one I sweat. I really went back and forth. And ultimately, I took Don Ferraro to keep his season perfect and get the dub. And, it's tough for me to, pick against Kai because the dude has already won so many big matches as a sophomore. And again, this is just this week. There's 2 more weeks after this. I'm certainly could see it flip 2 more times. But I got Don Ferraro in this one. He's just been on a tear, and I think he keeps it rolling over Kai Vioma, and I think one of the best final matches in the tournament. So again, I got I got Ferraro over Vioma. I got Allison over Soto for third and fourth, and then I got Sarnik over Mazenko for fifth and sixth. And then I got Stout over Hill for seventh and eighth. All right. 145. All right. This way here is highlighted by a dog. Mr. Ramil Islamov is your 1 seed from Baldwin, 37-0. The West Virginia commit. Ethan Higgins is your 2 seed. Case Chop is your 3 seed. Julian Ruggieri is your 4 seed. Max Firestein is your 5 seed. Devin Junko is your 6 seed. All right. I got Islamov, Han, Firestein, Ruggieri, Chop, Junko, Calgaro, and Higgins as my quarterfinalists. Rolling into the semis, I got Islamov, Ruggieri over Firestein in a match that, I don't know, someone's going to have to tell me how many times. At least 3 or 4. Chop over Junko and Higgins over Calgaro. So my semifinalists are Islamov, Ruggieri, Chop, and Higgins. For the bottom side in the blood round, I got for Manny, Calgaro, Shepis, Junko, scribble writing, I apologize. Hit off, I believe. Hibner and Firestein, Heim, and Ham. So from there, I got Calgaro, I got Junko, I got Firestein, and I got Hand winning on the bottom side there. I got Junko over Calgaro, got Firestein over Hand. Moving on to the top side, I got Islamov over Ruggieri. I got Chop over Higgins in a match that I think is going to be really tight. Going down on the bottom side, I got Higgins taking third over Ruggieri for third and fourth. Top side, I got Islamov over Chop in a match we've seen a few times, but Islamov seems to have widened that gap. Give me Ramil in that one. So Ramil taking first, Ramil Islamov, Case Chop taking second, Ethan Higgins taking third, Ruggieri taking fourth, Firestein taking fifth over Junko, and Calgaro over Hand for seventh and eighth. 152. Let's see here. Yes, I am still on, Kaz. All right. Kaz might be able to jump on. See, we'll see. He was running around. He was at the doctor's, and then he rolled over here from CV. So he'll let you. If he gets on, maybe he will, maybe he won't. I'm no promises. So back to 152 in AAA. This is kind of a Maddox Shaw next topic. I got Maddox Shaw. So Maddox Shaw, Petrovich, McMillan, Reed, Gibbons, Dunlap are your top 6 seeds. So you got, so running into the quarterfinals, I got Shaw, Rush, Gibbons, Reed, McMillan, Dunlap, Doppelauer, and Petrovich. Running into the semis, I got Shaw over Rush. I got Reed over Gibbons. I got McMillan over Dunlap. I got Petrovich over Doppelauer. Going to the bottom side, I got White, Doppelauer, Worstel, Dunlap, Reese, Gibbons, Buccelli, and Rush. From there, I got Doppelauer over White. I got Dunlap over Worstel in a tight match. We saw that last week, but I think Dunlap gets it done over Worstel. I got Gibbons over Reese, and I got Buccelli over Rush. From there, Dunlap, I think, gets another one over Doppelauer. I think whoever wins the Doppelauer-Worstel match is going to win against Doppelauer. Doppelauer drops down, and we'll talk about him in a second. But I got Dunlap over Doppelauer. I got Gibbons over Buccelli. And then we'll go to the top side. I got Shaw over Reed. Petrovich over McMillan. Drop down. I think the semis drop down. Reed over McMillan for third and fourth. I got Gibbons over Dunlap for fifth and sixth. And then I got Doppelauer over Buccelli for seventh and eighth. All right. $160. Vioma is your 1 seed. White's your 2 seed. Cost is your 3 seed. Buggy is your 4 seed. Evans is your 5 seed. Smith is your 6 seed. Your quarterfinals, I got Vioma, Cartwright, Evans, Buggy, Costa, Smith, Lothar, and White. Running into the semis, I got Vioma, Evans, Smith, and White. On the bottom side, I got Miller, Lothar, Bruckner, Costa, Hoffman, Buggy, Chu, and Cartwright. I got Lothar over Miller, Costa over Bruckner, Buggy over Hoffman, Cartwright over Chu. From there, I got Costa over Lothar, Buggy over Cartwright. Up on the top side, I got Vioma over Edmonds and White over White over Smith. And then in the finals, I got Vioma over White for first and second. I think Vioma gets it done in a match we saw last week. I think it was 11-6, but I think Vioma gets it done. Third and fourth, Costa over Smith for third and fourth. I got Evans over Buggy for fifth and sixth, and I got Cartwright over Lothar for seventh and eighth. 172. We're rolling along down the track. Let's just roll into the semis. Bodie Marlowe, Nico, or Dom Finella, Julian Sepliak, Caleb Kinsley, Carter Morvay, Mac Miller, McCauley and Mario Hutchinson are my quarterfinalists. From there, I got Marlowe, Kinsley, Miller, and Hutchinson. Moving on. Miller, Morvay, I found it so wild that they put them 3-6. They've wrestled a bunch of times, but I got Miller winning it this time. I think Morvay's won every time this year, but I think Miller gets it done this particular time. So that's my semifinalist. Moving down onto the bottom side, I got Ozolski, McCauley, Crawford, Morvay, Solomon, Seplyak, and Schaefer and Finella. From there, I got McCauley over Olszewski, Morvay over Crawford, Seplyak over Solomon, and Finella over Schaefer. From there, I got Morvay over McCauley. So Morvay takes a loss and goes on a run. Over McCauley, I got Seplyak over Finella. And then you go to the top side, I got Marlowe over Kinsley. I got Hutchinson over McMillan in a matchup. We've talked about those two are on a collision course. For third and fourth, I got Kinsley over Miller. For third and fourth, fifth and sixth, I got Morvay over Seplak. And for seventh and eighth, I got Finella over McCauley. In the finals, in a match that a lot of people are waiting to see and are excited to see. And I know I'm way behind on the weights. I'm sorry, guys. But in a match that we've been waiting to see, I got Bodie Marlowe over Hutchison. All right, 189. Hunter Snyder over Latrova's your 1 seed. Mark Gray's your 2 seed. Stevenson's your 3 seed. Nez Green's your 4 seed. LeBry's your 5 seed. Hartung is your 6 seed. All right, give me Snyder, Collins, LeBryer, Green, Stevenson, Hartung, Pats, and Gray are your winners in the first round. From there, I got Snyder, Green, Stevenson, and Gray as your semifinalist. Going down into the blood rounds, I got Collins, Pats, Conroy, LeBryer, Brosco, Bruckner, and Collins. From there, I got Pats, I got Hartung, I got LeBryer, and I got Collins. Pats over Hartung, and then LeBryer over Collins. Going to the top side, I got Snyder over Green. I got Gray over Stevenson. And then on the bottom side, I got Green over LeBryer for third and fourth. I got Pats over Stevenson for fifth and sixth, and I got Hartung over Collins for seventh and eighth. All right, 215. Another weight. Even besides top guys, this is a fantastic weight. All right. Running into the quarters. Elijah Brown, Johnny Montgomery, Braden Collins, Roman Thompson, Roskowski, Cook, Goals, and Conroy. Going into the semifinals, I have Brown over Montgomery. I got Thompson over Collins. I got Roskowski over Cook. I got Conroy over Goals. Goals, fantastic run this year. Stops here with the loss to Conroy, but that win over Tustin was fantastic. And I set that up by saying we dropped down, and you look at the blood rounds. You got Tustin, Goals, Healy, Cook, Olab, Collins, Geller, and Montgomery. I got Goals over Tustin again. I got Cook over Healy. I got Collins over Olab, and I got Montgomery over Geller. Going into the next round, I got Cook over Goals. I got Collins over Montgomery. And then you go to the top side. I got Brown over Thompson, and I got Conroy over Roskowski. And I got Brown over Conroy in the finals. And Brown made a statement last week, I feel like. And I think Conroy, obviously, I think he can beat him, but that's just an impressive win that we saw last week. And then on the bottom side, I got Roskowski over Thompson for third and fourth. I got Cook over Collins for fifth and sixth, and I got Goals over Montgomery for 7th, and 8th. I think Hunter Goals continues the run and moves on. All right, the big boys. We're almost done. You guys have been fantastic hanging out with me. Shep Turk is your 1 seed. Philip Riak is your 2 seed. Braden McConnell is your 2 seed or 3 seed. Candan is your 4. Ben Lloyd is your 5. Owen Rush is your 6. All right, so running down, I got Turk, Hamilton, Lloyd, Dana, McConnell, Rush, Gallus, and Riek. Moving on from there, I got Turk. This quarterfinal was fire. It was ultimate rideout last week. Lock-in big boy match. Give me Dana over Lloyd, McConnell over Rush, and Riek over Gallus. Going down to the bottom side. And this is where I think, again, I love big boy wrestling. So I think Ryder Ekus makes a run out of the pigtail match here, boys. I think he runs it, man. I think he goes. So we'll get into here. So Ekus, Gallus, Scarton, Rush, Shibendaroff, Lloyd, Gibson, and Hamilton are your blood round guys. I got Ekus over Gallus. I got Scarton over Rush. I got Lloyd over Jabroinoff. I got Gibson over Hamilton. From there, I got Ekus over Scarton, and I got Gibson over Lloyd. Move to the top side. Turk over Dana, Riek over McConnell. McConnell Riek, I think, is a better chance of being an upset or a flip than Turk Dana. Again, Lloyd Dana is a coin flip. We'll see what happens in the quarterfinals, but I think Turk is a lock to get to the finals. The finals, I don't really know too much about Riek. Unfortunately, I should know more about him, but I'm excited to see him go this weekend. But ultimately, I think Turk's just a little bit too much. He's just been the class of the WPIAL this year. I think he gets it done in the finals over Riek. For 3rd and 4th, I got Dana over McConnell. For 3rd and 4th. For 5th and 6th, I got Ryder Ekus over Gibson. For 7th and 8th, I got Ben Lloyd over Marco Scarton. And that's it. That's all. That's all she wrote, boys. Again, I try to stay along. I got in a little vibe there and I got a little motion. I'm sorry for not following along as best as I could. A little bit of a curveball there at the end of the day. But again, we got through it. It was a great show. Made my picks. You guys hung out with me. So, again, good luck to you guys out there. Those of you that are wrestling at Chartiers Valley, those of you that are wrestling at Kennett-Mac, coaches, parents, wrestlers, just enjoy it. Enjoy this. Enjoy being involved. Enjoy being in the WPIAL because it's special. Not every community, not every area is like ours. It's the best. And that's why the classes and the it's just so deep and it's so much fun to watch. And you know, you win a WPIAL title, it is a big deal. So again, good luck out there, wrestlers, coaches, parents, siblings, grandparents, whoever. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me again for another episode of Near Falls in the WPIAL. It's your boy D-Hall signing off. Later.